What's up guys, it's Marco from TechStream, and today I'm going to be bringing you a hands-on review of the Phanteks Eclipse P400S tempered glass PC case. So, let's dive right in. So, I'm going to start things off with the design of this mid-tower case, and this case is stunning. I picked up the black and red version, so the vast majority of the body is a sleek matte black finish. In fact, the only red on the outside of this case is in two spots. On the front panel, there's a red plastic intake which lets air into the fans. And on the back panel, the expansion slots are a red and black pattern. The whole body is built out of steel as well. The most attractive piece of this case, however, is one of its main selling points. That is the tempered glass panel which covers the entire left side of the case. The glass features a small black border the whole way around, which is about 3/4 of an inch. The rest is a tinted glass which allows you to see all of your PC components, that is, except for the power supply which fits under the red metal shroud at the bottom of the case. This case is the silent version, which costs just $10 more than the standard version. The back side of the case is the only one without soundproofing materials. However, the only soundproofing on the glass side is just the rubber on the thumb screws, which prevent rattling. All of the other sides have a foam insulation material to prevent sound leakage from the case. On the top of the case, there are two removable square panels, which are metal on one side and have rubber insulation on the other. They are magnetic and can be removed for extra airflow if you decide to put fans at the top of the case. Moving to a more detailed inspection, we have the front I/O panel. On the top of the case, you have your headphone and microphone jacks, two USB 3.0 ports, and the power button. The power button has a solid click and can be illuminated to your color of choice. More features of the I/O panel are hidden under a lip facing towards the front of the case. There's a reset button, a color control button to control your case's lighting, and a fan controlling button. Clicking the lighting button quickly will change the color inside your case around the power button and illuminating the Phanteks logo on the bottom of the front panel. A held click for longer than 2 seconds will change the lighting mode from one solid color to one pulsing color to a rainbow mode that cycles through all of the colors. Now, let's move on to the build of the case. The thumb screws on the tempered glass panel twist smoothly and easily, and the glass panel is a sturdy pane of glass which doesn't feel like it'll break. However, Phanteks says it can be easily scratched. These, however, are the only thumb screws that I found that you can actually use just your hands for. The rest of them required a screwdriver the first time being unscrewed as they were too tight. The thumb screws on the right panel do require a screwdriver, however they also don't detach from the panel, making them extremely easy to keep track of. This panel, like all of the other ones, feels sturdy and has an insulating material across the entire panel. The front panel detaches fairly easily but requires a little bit of strength. It attaches with 6 pieces that have to line up to fit in securely. Once in though, they stay in place and don't come out by mistake. The front panel also has 2 removable dust filters. One is near the red plastic piece at the top of the panel, and one is at the bottom. The design of the panel allows for some airflow but not a huge amount. There's also a removable dust filter under the power supply at the bottom of the case. The case comes with 2 fans in the lower end of the front and the upper end of the back of the case. Building in this case was very easy. It had enough size for my ATX motherboard, however it also supports eATX, micro ATX, and mini ATX motherboards. It has lots of space for graphics cards too. My GTX 660 Ti fit with lots of room to spare, as it fits in a 395mm graphics card with no extra drive bays in the way. When the drive bays are installed, it fits a 280mm card. The room for the graphics card is also lessened by the radiator and fans for my CPU's liquid cooler, which I mounted at the front of the case. This case supports up to a 360mm liquid cooling radiator at the front of the case too, if you take off the mid-plate cover. I put one hard drive and one SSD into the case, and both were easy to install. The SSD slots are inside the right side of the case behind the motherboard, and 2 hard drives fit into the power supply shroud at the bottom of the case. If you want more hard drives, you can expand with up to 4 more in the main part of the case. However, if you do so, they'll block the space where the radiator from the liquid cooler goes in the front. The expansion slots on the back of the case can be accessed with thumb screws, which once again you need a screwdriver for. Cable management in this case was fairly easy, with an ample but not extremely spacious room on the right side of the case at 25mm. There are 2 rubber grommets running down the middle of the case to route your cables through. None of these angles are too sharp when they come through to the front of the case. Also under the right panel, there's 3 Velcro straps for strapping down cables that make cable management so much easier. These, along with some zip ties, make this case completely manageable cable-wise. So lastly, one of my favorite small touches that Phanteks added to this case is that they give you a magnetic LED light strip to put anywhere in your case. This is controlled by the lighting control button on the front of the case. I think it was a good idea for Phanteks to add because the tempered glass is tinted more than the glass of cases such as the NZXT S340 Elite. So all in all, this is a great case, and it's made even better by the fact that it's only $89. It comes with many compelling features and it just looks great. If you want to be the friend that stands out in your group or anything like that, the tempered glass panel on the side is going to let you do just that. So if you're looking for a new case, I would fully recommend the P400S. Thank you for watching this review, and I hope I was able to influence your decision on a new case. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and hit the little bell that they added so you can know when I post. It's been Marco from TechStream, and thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.